Okay, boom, 3, 2, 1. Ahí nada más. All right, we're on. Let's see if I can send you this link. What's going on, familia? We're here at the pre-show with Alain, OG, triple OG from the Miami Salsa, Miami Casino scene. Let's bring some clarity to that real quick.
What's going on, Miami? How you guys doing?
We're good, we're good, we're good. Let me see if I can send you this link here. Let me see if I can find this. Okay. Yeah, it'll take a few minutes either way for a few people to hop on here, but okay, here we go. I got the link. Boom, boom. Perfect. And let me close this before it runs the sound. And I'll message this to you now. Boom. Okay, here you go. Boom. Oh yeah. All right, so we're on. Perfecto. Entonces, okay, so you were at, so basically you were running the second location at that time.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yes, because I was teaching. Hold on, let me put this link here.
Yeah, for sure.
Actually, I should do it closer to the show, right?
Yeah, well, it's up to you. I mean, we're probably going to be on until after. I mean, you could say we're live now, but we officially start at 8. Whatever. But people can definitely jump in. They can leave comments. They can come and hang out with us, bro. El punto de esto es obvio de simular, that we're right next to each other, and then we're talking. Everybody hangs out in a digital room. This is the welcome to the new age. Have your people ask you embarrassing questions on here, bro. This is this is their opportunity.
Maybe not.
Just bring Tanya on here, and then that's it. It's over. Sack out.
She's right now with the kids.
Yeah.
She's holding down the.
That's what's up. Perfecto. ¿Y cómo está Ramani ahora? What's he up to?
I mean, he's good. I don't see him as much, but he's good, man. He's living life, having a good time. You should have him on.
Yeah, no, I definitely do. I need to reach out to him. Him and I have been, we haven't necessarily, I guess we've met, but we haven't had I don't know. We haven't had an opportunity to just even you and I, even though we haven't talked, we've at least spoken, I guess you could say. Other than highs and what's up, and we've seen each other at events, but other than that, nothing really. I mean, obviously, I hear the world about him. Pero yeah, no, I would definitely love to have him on. He's a lot of history there too.
That's even more OG.
Right. For sure.
A lot.
As a matter of fact, you know what? Let me put him on my list right now. Do I even have his number? Let me check if I have his number. I think, believe it or not, I have his number because I'm one of those guys. I'll get your number before I even Yeah, I do have his number. 554-3200. Creo que sí.
Let me check. Yep.
Yeah. Sweet.
That's it.
Cool. Sweet. Yeah. Then I'll reach out to him and I'll definitely say that you mentioned him, and that would be cool. That would be great. Oof. Yeah. No, for sure. For sure. Eso, bro. Eso es algo. Oh my God. These people that are all coming through within the last 10 years or whatever, bro. Ellos me ven como un I'm the OG, triple OG. I'm like, nah, you guys have no idea, dude. I'm so I just wish that more. I guess it's also a lot more difficult, right, for someone with a family like yourself, etc., to stay in the game, because once the whole family thing happens, it's difficult. All right. I mean, I can obviously, it's a little bit easier for me because at least at this very moment, I'm still single. Shit, So yeah, I mean, it's just really unfortunate that there's a lot of experiences and a lot of talent. I don't want to say that it's lost, but at least not like there's just so much that you guys have. There's so much experiences that you guys have that I would want to carry on as much as possible. You know, I guess on a
I mean,
wider scale than just, you know, because I know that oftentimes there's still so much that you want to explain, but there's a lot of the students just still aren't ready yet for a lot of things, you know. But yeah,
I mean, it's also Miami has something, you know, there's a little bug that bites you, and a lot of people go through the salsa scene, and there's a moment where the bug bites you and you disappear, you never come back. There's very few come back and stay for a very long period of time, you know.
right,
Like you see, they'll go out, you know, maybe once a year. I mean, me included,
yeah,
once a year, but sometimes they get lost for 3-4 years. You don't see them,
right,
you know, and it's hard to get them back. But once in a while, you got to do events, you know. That I remember that before the pandemic, we used to do at least 2 parties a year, and with Cabrera, and he would ask me, "Why don't we do them for more often?" I'm like, "No, because I want to do them so that it doesn't get saturated, it doesn't
right,
become some time and expected, and then the old school guys and girls will want to come out
right,
to those parties because they can relate a little bit more to the current, you know, than the current scene because they know somebody from before,
right,
and that's why I wanted to do it like maybe once or twice a year, and that was it.
right.
You know, I haven't done anything else obviously after the pandemic, but that was my idea behind that. Like, let's try to pull casineros. Yo le decía sacándolos de la cueva, you know.
Brother, legit. I know we're live right now, but there's nobody watching right now. I'm 100% because a lot, like, we share a lot of the same lineage, I guess you could say. Like, I'm super down to do that once a year thing. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't do events either. Like, the last event that we did or we tried to do was the 20th anniversary for Salsa Kings, and we canceled it. So I think the time before that we did the 17th anniversary. That was my last party that I did, just because, like, I'm done with that, bro. Like, I'm so done with that. Like, no, like, there's nowhere remotely near enough money that would, you know, justify the effort and the pain and all the, just everything that happens behind that, logistically and the work afterwards and all that type of stuff. So we just did the 25th, and unfortunately there was not really an old school turnout at all. I would probably say the oldest school that came through was Yandi and El Chulo, you know,
Okay.
and Abdel,
Yeah.
you know, Elba, but that's little Denise, you know, but I would say that's pretty much it. Lewis came by, but everyone else was, you know, my people and forward, and I wouldn't even say my people because I would say 2016 was probably considered old school there. As far as for, like, on an average. Yeah. Which was great because we had like over 100 attend, but they were all newer. You know what I mean? That everyone was really excited about the 25th, which is great. Blessed. Praise God. You know, amazing. But I would have loved a lot more because I hit up, like, everybody on a personal level. I'm like, yo, 25th, come through, slide. You know, you ain't paying nothing at my door. Like, let's go. But for whatever reason, busy or whatever, this and that. So.
I was camping, brother.
Huh?
I was camping with family.
Yeah. No. That's what I'm saying. And for whatever, it doesn't matter. But the point is just more so, like, if we can do something to where we can just get more of the old school out for a legitimate reason. If it's once a year, then let it be once a year. Let it be unaffiliated with any school. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's just more about, I want the new school to see how awesome and how big this thing is and how much friendships last through the community over the years, even after you find somebody and after you have kids, and that, like it's just something that ultimately at the end of the day we're connecting with one another. I think that's the most awesome part about this whole thing. So if they could see, people, oh, how long have you been dancing? Oh, I went to Salsa Kings back 15 years ago, or I went to Salsa Kings, or I was at Casino de Primera 8 years ago or 7 years ago. I used to be a teacher there, and then and then they meet and whatever. And like that's the whole idea, or at least that I find. If that makes any kind of sense for you, and we can make that work. Again, something neutral. If you feel that makes more sense, if a Casino del Primera event makes more sense, if that name's going to pull more people.
I mean, we could even get like people from this different generations. Like we could get Ramani involved, I get involved, you get involved. We even get Cabrera involved because Cabrera's been the link with a lot of it. A lot of keeping people involved. He's the one throwing the parties every week.
That's true.
He's the one that gives people a place to go to every week.
That's true.
So, the thing is getting everybody in the same page. Hey, let's do this. You know what I mean? Like, because you also have, for example, you also have the Club Mystique. They do something. They try to do like a reunion, I guess that's where Ramani will come in and try to get those people involved. I think it would be a good idea to get like a big party like that from all the generations.
Right.
All the way from the mid '90s all the way to now.
Miami Casino.
That would be cool. Like a big party. Yeah, that's not a bad idea at all.
Yeah. Do you think that does Cabrera have connections with? It's not called Mystique anymore. What's it called?
No, it doesn't exist. There's just there's a Facebook group, and the Cubita has connections with all of the people that used to go all the time. They still,
Right. Okay.
So there could be a way to tap into those people. Like,
so the location is not, or at least it's up for grabs for right now, at least.
It will be, we have to find a location. I'm just saying the names that I think could bring different generations of Miami dancers out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because even like Renee and Ramani are the same generation, obviously you could even get Ebba involved to like reach out to everybody that she knows. Everybody knows.
Right.
Everyone.
It's wild.
So, wow. There's key people that you could, if you get them in the same page, you can achieve that.
Right.
So, not a bad idea.
Well, I mean, the question is ultimately, is it worth it? Like, is that something that, do we even want to waste our time on? Is that like, I mean, of course I would love to, but at the same time, getting everybody on the same page and this and that. And, it's not even so much about, there's the only objective is to just do a party for the old school to be able to come out and actually have and say, okay, I know that if I'm going to go out once a year, I can talk to the wife and even have the wife come and we can reserve a babysitter that day, and have it be, no say.
Everybody's going to be there.
Right.
Yeah.
What about
Miami, you can't think it's a worth doing it. It's like, do you want to do it? Is this something that you want to see through? You know what I mean? Do you want to get financial gain out of it? Then you have to think, it's worth doing it.
Right.
By the way, I don't mean it in any bad way. It's just the reality of it.
Right. No, it's tiene que venir de corazón. Right. No, for sure.
This is something that we want to do for real. You just work at it and you try to make it happen. If not, if you start thinking, is it worth it? Are people going to come? Are people, unfortunately, man, like you were saying, Miami, it's a tough market.
Right.
It's a tough market.
Right.
It's a tough market.
So I guess we would just have to make it to where it's clear that there's certain key people that are involved as far as for promoters is concerned to let everybody know, okay, coño, there really are the old school that's going to come out. I'm not going to show up there and it's going to be a waste of my time. So then maybe then we even do it to where we use, instead of the brands, we use our own personal names.
Right.
That may be better. And then we could do like old school club style, like as in like, okay, who'd you come with? And I came with Alain. Okay, Alain, punto, whatever. And we do the tallies, you know what I'm saying? Like that, like old school, And then after expenses, the rest of it goes divided by however many people that were brought. Like, I think that
Or
would work. ¿Cómo?
Or we save it for the next one.
Or we save it for the next one. I like that even better. Or we save it for the next one. That would be sweet. How you like this? What if we were okay? Are we on the same page that Calle Ocho like?
I can't remember the last time I went to Calle Ocho.
Okay, right. My point exactly. There's a reason for that, right? Like, yeah. Okay. So what?
I like the Miracle Mile that happens the week before better.
Right. Yeah.
That was super.
So what if we were to do the party around that? Like, if we were to kind of capture the theme of like Calle Ocho, Miracle Mile, like the biggest block party. Like, you're not gonna go to Calle Ocho. Maybe you go to Miracle Mile, but you're gonna come to this party. Like, I'm just trying to think of like when in the annual calendar would that make sense?
It doesn't interfere with any other events and things like that. Yeah, right. March is probably a good idea. March is probably not a bad idea.
Right, because we got Miami Congress is in
July.
Bachateando is
April.
A little bit before that, right? But I think it's definitely a different group completely. Particularly Bachateando.
Yeah, if you do it in March, I don't think.
Yeah.
Those people have nothing to do with bachata. Like, the demographic that we're trying to bring out has nothing to do.
Pre bachata. For sure. That's good. For sure. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah. So then who are we talking about? We're talking about Ramani. Is Henry still in the game?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Because he's doing his whole thing with his, or at least from what I remember years ago, he opened up a shop.
Yeah, he has his botanica.
Right.
I have not seen him do anything. Last time I saw Henry was at Habana Primera concert in 2018. My wife was pregnant and he was dancing with Tanya. And everybody made a rueda, not to dance rueda, but so that nobody would hit Tanya because he was dancing with Tanya pregnant.
Oh my gosh!
In the middle, and
I love it.
Was shielding from the crowd, and he was dancing with T in the crowd in the middle of the concert. That's the last time I saw him, and that was 2018.
Wow.
That was 2018. Yeah.
I saw him. I want to say it was after the pandemic at Ball and Chain, random night. He was there. But again, kind of like Ramani, I never like really like, we know of each other, but we never really connected like that. Okay, so Ramani, you, Elba, myself, who else? David?
I mean, I don't know if you'll get involved, but I guess you could try.
I guess you could say more for like central pull. Cabrera, obvio.
Yeah, I mean, I
Cabrera.
guess that David was, in a gap there that, I wasn't around. So yes, obviously David,
okay,
was in there as well.
What about Melao?
Of course, Melao, imagínate, I'm trying to think of the not so obvious. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly, right, correct.
Not so obvious.
Abdel,
yeah, Abdel.
Okay.
I mean, and obviously Rene, like, if you want to do something like that, like, to be big, Rene, he's the one true constant till now.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
And you know what? And we could probably do it, since he has the connection there now, at the Intercontinental.
Yeah, we could ask. We could explore options about that. Yeah.
Right. Would people want to drive out there?
maybe we don't even do it like a venue ballroom, and we bring the party to a club. You know what I mean? And we work it out somehow with the club, and it's just a once a year event, and I don't know. We got to think about it.
Right.
Logistics. We got to work it out so that it
That would be
truly
fun. That would be cool.
works.
Especially if see, that's the thing. That's what we have to find out. Is like, would people like that it's always a different spot, or would people like that it's always the same spot? So then
Yeah.
I don't know.
Even if you pick a venue like a ballroom per se, it doesn't guarantee you that the following year is going to be available for the date that you
También.
have.
También.
So that's always going to be a variable. I mean, yeah, it would be great if it was at the same spot all the time. So, I mean, we could even ask Rene if he's okay doing it at his spot. It's at the end of the day, it's a ballroom.
Yeah, that's true.
And that would be a constant variable. Not a constant. It wouldn't be a variable. It would be a constant place
Right.
that we could do it at. I mean, there's a lot of things that we could discuss. A lot of ideas that we could toss around and
Right.
make it work.
Okay, cool. Coño, I like that. That would be super dope. That would be super. Again, it's just to get these guys out and more than anything, it would be kind of like an annual. It'd be an annual milestone for a lot of the new people, and of course, an excuse to go out dancing. Hey, this is once a year. I'm not gonna do Calle but as far as for a club scene is concerned, lights off, disco, good Cuban music, Cabrera, Melao, that people know what to expect,
Yeah.
And that would be dope. I like it.
Yeah, sounds good, man.
I like it. All right, we got 6.5 minutes left on the countdown over here. I was unsure to wear this shirt. I didn't know if this was too tight on me or not. I was like, oh man, I don't know.
I can't even wear that one, bro.
Trust
me. I can't wear that one.
¿Por qué?
It's too small on me right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
El alma no perdona.
Yeah. Facts. Good stuff. Okay, cool. So I like that. I definitely like that. I'll reach out to these people and I'll see if maybe we can't even start, because ya estamos en mayo. Increíble, bro. El 1 de mayo. Oh my God.
Yeah, I thought last year went by fast. This year is like...
bro. I remember making a joke to my people. I was like, Q1 is over cuando entramos en abril. That was already 30 days ago. And I'm like, oh my God. This now it's getting scary, bro. It's starting to get scary. Porque ya voy a cumplir 35 ya este mes.
There you go.
Yeah. So ahora estamos llegando a lo... Mira, tengo alguno. Mira esto. Mira.
Getting old, man. Getting old.
De madre, bro. De madre. ¿Cómo se llama? Preparing to start talking about it for March.
Yeah, for March of the following year. Yep.
2024.
Yeah.
2024. Okay. From what I understand, because there's a lot of the modern socials, they do kind of like an interruption. They do, the performances and stuff like that. La gente no quiere eso, ¿verdad?
Nah, I wouldn't do performance. I would just do all out party. Just all out music the whole time. Even play some freestyle in there like they used to do.
Nice.
A little bit of everything.
Okay, cool. All right, so then definitely. Okay, so then even better. Definitely more catering to the. I like that, catering more to the old school and allow the new people to join in that.
Right.
I like that.
Right. Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, cool. And you feel well, I mean, now we've mentioned 3 DJs. We have Cabrera, we have Cuba, and we have Melao. Should it be all 3?
Yeah. I mean, they could take turns. You do
Okay.
sets.
Right.
Yeah. You do sets.
Okay. Yeah, because I think DJ Kua he mixed in freestyle and stuff like that, right? That was more him, or is that more Melao, or was that more?
That was. I mean, Melao plays everything, and just like Cabrera too, they can play anything. But I think that the people that went to Mystiques also like that type of vibe. You know what I mean? So
Right.
you could ask them to mix in a little bit of freestyle
Dope.
in there.
Dude, that would be
I think we can ask Ramani about this. Ramani would know more about that. You know?
okay.
But you could always, just ideas, So we could.
Right. Okay. Cool. All right. All right. Well, then I'll get moving on that. I love the idea of basically having an account for the party itself. And then just have that roll, and then you could do it bigger and bigger every time. This is 100% a volunteer type thing, I think those type of efforts, granted, if everybody's on board, I think that would be really, really good. That could be huge, bro. Like, there really is so many of us. It's just getting us all in the same room is the issue.
Right.
For sure. Okay, cool. So we have literally 2 minutes. So I'm gonna hide you. I'm gonna do my sponsor announcements, etc. BS business talk. I'm gonna run through your points. Boom, 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 and then we'll get it going. I'll bring you in, and then I'll start asking you about you, and then obviously we'll talk about it. It's not like you don't feel like you need to rant the whole time, tampoco, and we'll get that going, because I've done that too. Some people do like that though. Some people like I let them I let them go también,
Yeah.
For sure.
We'll just see where it goes.
Yeah, no, absolutely, 100%. And I'd be able to see. Are you able to see the comments on your end also, or no?
No, I only see that there's two on the top left. I see a 2 next to the eye. That's people watching.
Right. Gotcha. Okay, cool. All right. So yeah, when comments do come in, I have the ability to put them on the screen.
Yeah, there's a thing here for comments. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll be able to throw those on the screen as well, so that the people watching can see the actual comments that when we respond to them. Definitely gonna make the point for, of course, people to ask questions, etc., so on and so forth, about particularly your topic, your tips, etc. If people are a little confused on the idea or whatever, just trying to create as much of that natural, organic environment as possible. Good stuff. I'm thinking of a few questions to kind of to mix the dice up a little bit later on too. So that'll be good. I'll leave those towards the end there. Okay, cool. All right. So we're down to 7, 6, 5. I'll hide you now, brother. Appreciate you. All right. I'll wait for this text message to come in. It is now 8 p.m. May 1st, 2023. Incredible. As Alain and I were just saying, Familia, this year is absolutely flying by. But we appreciate all of you watching and continuing to stay plugged in and loyal and loving to the Miami salsa scene. Literally waiting for the text message right now before we start, to give an opportunity for people to hop on from our subscribed text list. If you're not subscribed already, for those of you that are watching now, visit the website news.salsakings.com. News.salsakings.com. Excuse me, news.salsakingslive.com. Sorry, I said that wrong. News.salsakingslive.com will have you sign up to our podcast text list, where you'll be notified of every episode that we do when it gets released. So I just got the message right now. So we'll wait for a few more to jump on and we'll get started. All right, familia, welcome. Episode 102, Teacher Tips with Mr. Capitan OG, Triple OG, Alain Sanchez. I'm going to ask him later what his middle name is, if he has one, which most of us do, but we never tell anybody because we're we're shared and or scared to embarrass or to get embarrassed to share it. Mr. Sanchez was born in Colón, Matanzas, in Cuba. He learned to dance casino there before knowing any turns and any technical formalities of La Rueda. Came to the Miami salsa scene in 1999, 1 year after Salsa Kings was launched, where he joined the FIU group, which at the time was its second location, and he was part of the program until 2003, where later on he ended up opening up his own school known as Salsa Ardiente, which definitely made some huge ripples in the Miami salsa scene, creating some amazing dancers there out of his academy. Stayed connected through or in the Miami salsa scene with the International Hustle and Salsa Congress, helped out Mr. Ramani with Salsa Casino, which was his school, and then opened up another academy in 2013, which is the current school that I'm actually repping right now, De Primera, Casino de Primera, another, again, amazing casino academy here in Miami, keeping the traditional casino roots. Con La Rueda de Casino, he met his hashtag salsa sweetheart, Tanya, at Salsa Kings, which he is now a proud father of two beautiful girls, ultimately having him connected and very well acquainted to the scene for 24 years, teaching for a solid 17 today to talk about his topic that he chose, which was teacher tips. So for those of you that are looking to get into teaching, or are already teaching, or at the same time just want to have some insight on what this side of the spectrum is about, this man is going to go ahead and drop some golden nuggets for you guys right now. But before we do that, Miami Salsa Cruise, guys, visit miamisalsacruise.com, is your favorite Latin dance getaway. Guys, go ahead and check that out. Again, miamisalsacruise.com. The last sailing that we just did in February was an absolute blast. Now in January of 2024, we'll be going again 8 days, 7 nights for less than $100 a day. Live salsa music every single night. We'll be going to Mahogany Bay. We'll be going to Cozumel. We'll be going to Costa Maya. Basically everything amazing about a cruise, but just go ahead and sprinkle your salsa on top of that, and that's what gives you your Miami Salsa Cruise, along with workshops with guest instructors as well. So go ahead and check that out, guys. We have an early bird deal as well. Again, that's right on the website, miamisalsacruise.com. We hope to see you guys there. Without further ado, Mr. Alain Sanchez. What's going on, my brother? How you doing, man?
What's up, Andres? How are you, man? Hello,
Good.
Miami.
Good.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate this, man.
No, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I know that we've been going back and forth a little bit on this now, just to set a date. I know that you're a busy man. You got a household of beautiful women there that you're taking care of. I can only imagine. It gets crazy, dog. It gets crazy. So thank you for your time and dropping some or being willing to share some golden nuggets here with our humble little audience and crowd here. So thank you, man. Appreciate you. So to get right into it, man, we definitely had a lot of time to chat in the pre-show. For those of you that were just watching, I thank you guys for that. We always go live a little bit before, just for technical reasons, to make sure that everything kind of flows right. But yeah, so please, brother, I dropped a little bit of points about you beforehand. Let us know, dude, who is Alain, for those that don't know. Please go ahead. Floor is yours.
Alain David is my middle name.
David, there it is. Okay.
No, I'm not embarrassed of my middle name. I
Good.
just don't use it because whenever I hear Alain David, that means I'm in trouble. That's what my mom used to tell me.
That makes sense. When
I hear Alain David, it's like, whoa, what did I do?
Gotcha.
But yeah, Alain David Sanchez. I was born, like you said, in Cuba, in Colón, Matanzas. I left at the age of 12 to Venezuela, and I came here in 1995. yeah, I learned how to dance in Cuba, like I was telling you a little bit before. I my main thing was break dancing, what they call here pop, and what we used to call in Cuba piwe. And then
Eso.
you had to learn how to dance a little bit of everything. So what I know about casino, salsa casino, I learned from my sisters. And you basically, when you were doing battles in between cities, the group from Colón will go to a group from Perico or whatever not. You just, if a timba song came on or a salsa song came on, you had to grab whoever was available in the crowd and dance with them. So there was no time to do. We never got into doing that rueda thing. It was more doing like, dancing with one partner only, or we would do also what they call here shines. We call it
Yeah.
pasillito. We would just do pasillos. You know what I mean? It was a team effort type of thing. So there was never a lot of girls available to do it. So I learned how to dance from my sisters. Um, I came, like I said, to the States in '95. I lived in West Palm Beach. That's where I went to high school. I did my junior and senior year of high school here. Then I started college. My girlfriend at the time came to FIU, Florida International University, and there she saw, obviously Salsa Kings was there. I came here. I moved here a year later to go to college, and nothing. I joined, and like I was telling you, I mean, a lot. I don't know if people watching this will remember who Frank is. Elba's husband was the one that, I signed in, because back then, I don't know if it's the same now. Back then, you signed in like a credit class. You basically register for the class like you would register for all your
Yeah,
classes.
yeah, ahora no, ahora es diferente, sí, sí, sí.
We registered. It was a set course, and you start a certain way. So I show up the first day. My girlfriend was late, and I start with the basic steps. And then Frank, Elba's husband, is walking around the room making sure everybody's doing what they need to do. And he's like, "Hey, come here, man. What are you doing? You're not supposed to be here. Come here." And then he
Nice.
grabbed an instructor, a girl instructor, and he just told me to start dancing. I started dancing with her, and he started just saying names. And I thought he was talking to me, but I didn't know what he was saying. Like he was saying like 70, montaña. And I'm like, are you talking to me in code? Like, what are you saying? And then
Yeah.
saying the name of the turns that I was doing as I was dancing. So, long story short, they told me to come for the second hour. I went the second hour. They just basically taught me the names, and I started dancing with them. That was the first year that they did a trip where they used to go to the Keys for this big festival, and it was a whole weekend thing that we had to basically dance the entire weekend. You know how Elba is when
Oh my
she
gosh.
books a
Sin agua,
it's,
vaya.
so I had to get prepared for that. I was in October. This was September, first week of September. So I started coming also on Sunday nights where they were practicing for that, with all the old school guys that, when I walked into the room and I saw 30, 35 couples doing a big rueda and everybody knew exactly what they needed to do, I was like, oh shoot, okay, I need to get my stuff straight.
Las pilas, las
So
pilas.
I was forced to I was basically forced to step it up. And long story short, the very next semester, the teacher that was taking care of the group at FIU was starting school, and then he had conflicts with his schedule, and Elba asked me to become the teacher at FIU. So that's what I did, and I was there to then we went to all the locations, and I was with Salsa Kings until 2003, the beginning of 2003.
Right. Yeah, man. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So then already de uno, you go from, walking in first, you're haciendo los pasos, whatever, following the system as you should. Este hombre te saca, and he's saying, okay, dun, 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 you're doing all this. Perfecto. Sure enough, a month or two later, you're running the location.
Right. Talk about
Phenomenal.
pressure.
Yeah, right. For sure. For sure.
You show up, want to have a good time, but if you know Ebba,
Yeah.
it's all about pressure.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. She definitely has her ways with that. There's no doubt about it. And for some reason, it actually has an incredibly high success rate on actually getting people to move into the spots. I think it's actually short story with me is, bro, my first day. Okay, so for me, it was my boy who showed me a few things. Like he didn't know anything, but he had rhythm, so he just showed me a few things. So I was comfortable enough where I was in my beginners 1, 2, 3 class. Like I was able to watch. It wasn't like my first time, I guess you can say. So I was in the upper 25 percentile, I guess you could say. And so sure enough, bro, she grabs my hand and she goes, "You can't dance." I see the uno in my and looking at me in my eyes like that. And I'm like, oh my god. So sure enough, like again, that just it either like you're either leaving or it ignites the fire inside of you and you move. And sure enough, that was it for me. And I was like, oh, I can't. Do all it.
Yeah.
You know? So sorry, just to put a little bookmark in there. But yeah, okay,
No.
so you met your wife at Salsa King.
So I met Tanya at Salsa King. So there was also a little bit of time that in 2001, I kind of like took a little bit of time off. I was having problems with my ex-girlfriend, and I took a little bit of time off the school and the teaching and school also. Like, I was I got an engineering degree, so school was tough, and I had to, spend some time, dedicate some time to school. I wanted to succeed in my degree. So I took some time off. And I came back, and then I came back because the following year they wanted, for some reason. So in this festival that I told you about the first year, there was a big conga line that they used to do. And the next year that they went to do that, no one remembered the name of the steps for the conga line. So Ep102 called me to come in and try to see if I remember the steps. I'm like, yeah, but we drilled that so many times. That's probably the only thing I have not forgotten. I know how to do them. So I went and I started helping them with the steps for the conga line, and then, sure enough, the itch again. So I stayed teaching, and then Tanya was going there at the time, and then we met, and that's how we got together.
Gotcha. Yeah. So she came in a little bit after, and you met with her.
She came in around 2002, the beginning of 2002. I think she came in.
Okay.
Yeah. It's funny because I actually. Now that we talk about stories, one day out of nowhere, Ep102 tells us, "Hey, let's go to this party. We're all gonna go dance at this party." I'm like, "Okay, are we invited?" She's like, "Yeah, you are."
Oh God!
And we go to this party at a banquet hall, really nice party. Everybody's wearing a tux, everybody's dressed up, and we're like if we were going to a club. Right. Which back then, we didn't wear jeans. We wore like dress pants, long sleeve shirts, and things like that. We show up to this party, and then talking after, it happened to be during the party it happened to be a 25-year anniversary party for a couple.
Okay.
And then they also happened to use the party to celebrate their daughter's 16th birthday.
Wow.
And
okay.
When Tia and I are talking after the fact years later, it's like, yeah, I was there at that party. I went and took us to that party.
Wow.
To go dance and have a good time. So when I met her like 2 years later or a year and a half later, whatever it was, that's when, we talked like, yeah, I went there, like I went to your parents' 25th year anniversary. So that's small, how small.
Wild, man. Yeah. No, for sure. Things come full circle, man. Especially in this, like you said, like it's especially the dance world is just a small world. And and then we were just talking about kind of bringing the old school back into a party that we can unite on an annual basis to kind of really show that this thing really is as small as it is as far as for connections is concerned. There's definitely a nice size crowd. So then from 2003, you said you.
So left. I leave. Yeah. We leave 2003. We leave Salsa Kings for whatever. We don't need to get into those reasons, but again,
I've heard some versions of it. Understandable.
We love
you, Ep102. We love you.
So we leave Salsa Kings, and we left Salsa King. I think it was April, and then we were. It was me, Tanya, Tony, and 2 other instructors, Wilbur and Swanee, that we all left at the same time. And then we used to get together all the time. We're very tight group, so we would still get together. We're like, man, like now we don't have a place to do what we like to do. Like, I don't want to go back there for whatever reason it was. And we decided, you know what, let's open our own place. Like, we like what we do. People like how we teach. That's why they were going there to begin with.
Right.
Like, we were teachers, we were main instructors. So let's just go and do our own thing somewhere else. So we decided to open Salsa Diente, and we opened Salsa Diente in August of 2003.
Salsa Ardiente. I always love that name, by the way. That's lit. That literally is lit. Like, it's awesome.
I got it from a conga set. LP makes this congas, a model, one of the models that they have. It's called Ardiente.
Nice.
Tiny's dad, I call him Papa Congas. He taught me how to play congas, and those were the congas that I bought. So I was playing with them, and I look at the name one day. I'm like, oh, that sounds good. That's Ardiente. I was preparing a very difficult pattern for Salsa Kings, and I was going to call it Ardiente. And then, the whole thing happened or whatever, and I'm like, I'm just gonna use this and call it School Salsa Diente.
Meant to be.
We rolled with it.
Nice.
So we had Salsa Diente from 2003. I think we did our last show in 2005 at the Miami Salsa Congress. Tanya taught a little bit of privates after that, but I think we officially closed either the end of 2005 or 2006 at the beginning. I don't remember exactly when we closed it down officially. But I was already on the way out because I was finishing school. And then I had a full-time job. So school and work were taking a lot of my time, and I really didn't have the energy to get out of work after done school, studying the whole night before, to go and teach. I was just not, my time frame at that time was I just wanted to do shows, and that's when we were doing the shows. I had the kids team and all of that, and my thing was I just want to mix music and prepare shows where I could do on the weekends on time off. I don't have to do twice a week.
Right.
Get ready to teach classes and manage the school and do everything. People think that you just go sit up and that's it.
Yeah, no.
I had a lot of help, and I do have a lot of help today also, but still, it's a responsibility that you have that it weighs on you. And when you have school, anybody that goes to school and works at the same time, it's rough. And engineering school is not easy.
Absolutely.
So I wasn't concentrating in teaching. T was, by the way, I call Tanya my wife. I call her T.
Yeah.
I call her my lovey, but for other people, I say T. She was more into teaching, and then she kept it. But then once we did the last show in 2005, after that, she was getting more private classes than studio time. So we're like, you know what? It's not worth it anymore. Let's just close it. And then she kept on doing privates, and then I graduated school, but we didn't have a school anymore. I graduated engineering school, and we didn't have a school anymore. So we started going to different places to hang around and dance with people. The parties, we kept on doing the IHSC with Ramani.
Right.
Ramani had his, he merged with Henry.
With Henry from Salsa Racing, right? So that time right there is right when I'm like, I'm coming into like salsa awareness. Like, okay, the first time that I go to Mystique, I think I'm 16, maybe 17. And on the flyers that were all around the entire club where Salsa Casino is now merging with Salsa Racing.
Right. That's what they used to teach. That's what they were teaching at. And that was at the second Mystique location.
Correct. I never went to the original one in the hotel. The Hilton, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
right. And then
right around that time, that's where I would go, and when they were doing their rehearsals, I would mix music for Abdel. That was doing the World Salsa Federation competitions.
That's right.
And I would hang around with them. Our group, like, we were even though we had different schools, we all got along. We went to places together. We even went one time to Orlando because Salsa Lovers and Flaco, that now dances with us, was dancing with Mario from Salsa Lovers, and they had a show in Orlando. I rented a van, and bunch of people. We went over there just to party with them for the weekend,
Nice.
support them in their show. So it was that kind of vibe where we would all get together, we'd do things. So we stayed connected to the salsa scene. And then around 2013, at the beginning of 2013, that's when I see David Leiva. For those of you who wouldn't know who I'm saying, David Leiva, I see doing this post about, he's teaching at the Elks, Miami Elks Lodge. I'm like, oh, okay. So one day after I see that, I paid attention to it, but I wasn't,
Right.
I was into something else. He sends me a message. Hey, I need help tonight. One of my instructors can't make it. Can you come help? I'm like, I haven't taught in a while, but I'll try. I'll go. So I went, and he's like, don't worry, just have fun. This is a very fun setting. It was by the bar. It was very fun. The place is super nice. So I go, I teach a class where everybody's laughing, having a great time. And then something just like, okay. So I go back home, and I tell my lady, tonight was fun. I really liked it. You think we could start doing this? But then obviously real life it's happening. We both have real jobs, full-time jobs. We have a career to worry about.
Right.
She's also fully into her career, just starting and getting the experience. And then she has a full-time job, obviously. She's like, well, let's move some things around. Let's rearrange the schedule and see what we can do, and
Nice.
let's try to make it happen that we make Tuesday nights the night that we go back and we dance. And this was only Tuesdays. I'm like, okay, sounds good. It's very close to the house. So we fixed our schedules. It took a couple of weeks. And I tell David, wait, we're going to go Tuesday night. We're going to start going for sure every Tuesday now. He's like, hey, bro, I'm not doing it anymore. I closed it.
No. How long? From when you went to when you decided to go back?
When I decided to go back, it was probably like good 3 months. I think it was good 3 months.
Mira
Like
eso.
that.
Bro, oh my God. Like
I don't
legit.
remember the exact timeline, but it was a couple of months. And he tells me he closed it down. I'm like, man, that was because after I went, I started talking to him about it. I'm like, bro, this has a lot of potential. This is really good. Like what you're doing there. He didn't even have a name. And Danessa, our partner now, was helping him with it. She was the one keeping everything organized.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, Dan is doing an awesome job keeping everybody organized. Like, obviously, you're an awesome teacher. You're doing great. Like, this has potential. Like, you should grow it. And then I go back to my next conversation with him I closed it down. So I was baffled. I was like, no, man, you cannot close it down. I started going after him again. Like, let's reopen. I'll help you out. We'll come up with a name and this and that. And then I started doing posts on social media.
Okay.
To get his attention. And then, I don't know if you know that this song from La Charanga Habanera, Esta es la unión, la más supersónica.
Of course.
So I started putting that song because it's David, La Charanga Habanera. I'm like, David y Alain, el Casinero. And then he kind of like, yeah, let's do something. And then Danessa jumped in. She said, yeah, we should do something. And then Tanya jumped in. She said, oh, yeah, we should do something. And then my next post, I put, yeah, we should. And we should call it Casino Primera.
Boom.
I came up with the name. And then after I posted that, everybody just went crazy with comments about that. So I guess it was light, and then we all get on the phone and we're like, hey, like, let's do it. We should do it. But David wasn't too convinced. It was too, for whatever reasons, relationship reasons, he wasn't too convinced.
Sure.
We made a logo. We told him, we set up a structure so that he would see it. And he said, you know what? Yeah, I'll do it for a little bit. There you go. I'll do it for a little bit. And then he did it, and we opened in November of 2013. We opened. And the idea was always to be open for 6 months. This was for us to get out of our system, school again, that we had a place to dance again. But our expectation was that we were going to get bored again. Not bored, but like it was going to get tiresome again.
Right.
To not do it anymore. But here we are. In November is going to be 10 years.
That's
You know,
wild, man.
6 months went crazy, and then Dane stayed with us. Then David left, and we started growing from there. You know, we brought in Michi to before that we left for the reopening. We brought in Michi Michelle, one of the instructors, which is also she's also from back in early 2000s at Salsa Kings. She's been a good friend of Tanya since childhood. Like she knows Tanya like since she was born.
Nice.
So we brought her. She's part of our family. She was one of the original instructors that opened with us, and with her we opened up, and then we just continued to grow. We were in the little bar in the Elks, and then within 6 months or 7 months they had to give us the ballroom because we didn't fit anymore, and then we just continue to grow.
I've always loved that spot. When Cabrera originally did his, what were they called? Rumawana parties.
Well, that's exactly why I was telling David, bro, you need to move these classes from here to where Cabrera is doing the parties. Like, this is awesome. Everybody loves the dance floor.
Yeah, it really was nice. I mean, the reason why I still remember it, like however many years ago that was, yeah, dude. I even have a student in my head that still reminds me of the first, kind of like how my first time going out was to Mystique's. His first time going out was Rumbavana, and that just, forever. I love that spot. I've always loved the Elks Lodge. Just a cool vibe overall. And now you guys recently moved, right?
Yeah, we moved so during the pandemic, obviously we closed for 2 years. When it was time to reopen, there was new management at the lodge.
I know what that's
I
about.
don't want to get too involved into that conversation because there were other people that also wanted to, you liked the lodge. Some of the people also liked the lodge, and they kind of like wanted to get in there as well. So, I was very upset about that. And the management changed. There's people tried to come in. There was a fallout, and I said, okay, we've been here for 9 years. You guys don't want us anymore. That's fine. We'll go somewhere else.
Right.
And then we called the South Miami Elks Lodge, which we had done an anniversary party there already. And it's a same size ballroom, but there's more dance floor. At the Sunset Lodge, it's one dance floor, and then you have carpet everywhere else.
Right.
Over there, the new spot is just dance floor. It's 4,000 square feet of dance floor.
Yeah, bro. That place is massive. I've done Isaac from World Salsa Federation. They do a few of their parties there. Times that I've been, I'm like, whoa! I walk in there like, whoa! This is like, it's a big spot.
It's good. The people there are great. We've created a great partnership with them. So we're there we are.
I love it. We
are
that's what's up. How do you guys have your your system? Like, do you have like 2 hours, 3 hours?
Well, we only have 2 hours. So we teach the first hour. We teach the basic steps, and we have 3 beginner levels and 1 intermediate level.
Okay.
And the second hour we have 2 intermediate levels and 3 advanced levels.
Okay.
That's how we separate and we structure.
Nice. Okay. So
the intermediate level, the way we have our structure set up with our syllabus, the 1 intermediate level is connected. Everything in our program is connected from beginning to end.
Right.
Get into that as we talk more. But the intermediate 1 level, the 3 beginner levels are basically, intermediate is the goal from the 3 beginner levels. You get here, that means that you did all of this correctly, and you're putting everything together in this level. So it makes sense to have it at the same time.
Gotcha. Nice. Como un examen. Ralph chimed in. He said, martes de primera. Just so you know. So he's on here. Thanks, Ralph. Thanks for helping out, brother. Yo, that's Ralph.
Right there.
If you're still on, dude, I think it was some quince. Maybe you remember that day, brother. It was some quince. I had like just recently started off, bro. And you were like, yo, bro, come on up red, bro. Come. I'm like, oh, bro, look at me. I'm turning red from remembering, bro. de la pena. But you sparked a little confidence in me, bro, with that invitation, man, and I'll never forget that, brother. So I appreciate you for that. And I hopped in, and I messed the whole thing up, bro. But just that invitation, I just want to let you know I appreciate you, man, for that. So that's awesome. I forget what year that was, and that was a really, really long time ago. And then I think I saw you guys. Possibly was with your group, Alain. But I didn't. Maybe I didn't know you then. I think it was like at a mojito or something. It was like a small three couple red that was just like acabando, just bah, bah, bah. And I was like, wow, dude. I think it was at the one by Dolphin Mall. The mojitos at Dolphin Mall. I don't know if you guys were ever there. That was a hell of a vibe there on a Friday night.
That was a spot.
Yeah.
We used to, even before you came into the scene, like they had a band there. It was called Mojito Song, and I was really good friends with the owner of the band. We used to go every Friday and Saturday. When I tell you every Friday and Saturday, every Friday and Saturday we were there, and that was the place. Well, you could probably ask Elba this. That place banned Salseros. That was the first place in Miami to officially ban Salseros from going, because back then Salseros wouldn't drink,
Right.
and the entrance was free. So they would just go and drink water and dance and take up space.
Right.
So the lady there started saying, like, I don't want any more salseros here. You guys, you either pay to get in or you leave. And that's how they started charging $20 for everybody that sat at the table, whether they're consumed or not.
Right.
And I think they still do today.
Yeah.
But that's what started it. That's what started it. A lot of salseros.
Mira pa eso, bro. Have you been to the new one? To the new Mojitos, the one on 8th Street by the Palmetto?
Yeah, I've been to the new one for a corporate, not a corporate, sorry, a friend of the family recently retired, and she did like a retirement party there.
Nice.
And we went. It was a good vibe. And then I've been to dinner for my brother-in-law's birthday. I've been for a couple of things, but not specifically to go dance. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why we haven't considered that as a spot to go dance, but the couple of times that we've gone to eat or for something else, it's been nice.
Saturday, they don't have the band Friday night anymore. They have DJ, but Saturday, it's still, bro. That the energy's still there. I mean, small dance floor. They got the same vibe because the whole thing is tables. They kill it there, bro. They kill it. By the way, thank you guys so much for staying tuned in. Guys, go ahead and fill out the comments below. We're going to go ahead and move into the topic of today, which is teacher tips. For those of you that don't know, we have all of our guests actually select the topic that they're passionate about, something that they want to leave behind. And Mr. Alain Sanchez here from Casino de Primera chose teacher tips. So, brother, if you want to go ahead and get into that, man, I don't know if there's certain bullet points or you got this, already. De uno, are you referring specifically to tips for teachers or tips for people coming from a teacher? I actually don't know which perspective you're taking.
No, I think when I come from the perspective of, I guess I want to say the things that I use from my life into teaching that have helped me, that maybe could spark an idea for somebody else to use and help them, whether they're a teacher. These things could also work in your overall dancing. You know what I mean? You could always learn. You could always learn from the things that you listen to.
Absolutely.
I wanna make a disclaimer, and I want to say something and make it very clear.
Let's do it.
I don't consider myself a professional instructor. I do not have a professional dancing background from academia per se. I don't have an education from an accredited organization or place that gave me a degree that says you are a dancer, you are an instructor. I think it's very little the amount of people in Miami that actually have that. I became an instructor because someone liked the way I danced socially, and they asked me to become an instructor. If that was the right decision for me to say yes or no, whatever. For debate. But along the way, I think I've become decent at it, and I'm able to help people learn how to have a good time when they go to a party and
without a doubt, brother.
And I think that's what we focus on. What we focus at CDP, at Casino de Primera, is we're going to teach people how to dance and have a good time. We're not teaching people how to get on stage and do a show. we're
Right.
teaching you how to go to a party and have a good time. There's two different types of dancers. There's a social dancer and there's the performer. I
Absolutely.
think a lot of the places and the culture is for to teach as if you're teaching performers. That's what most people do, especially outside of Miami. And I think that we concentrate more for just the couple that wants to learn how to dance for their next Christmas party. They could break it down. You know what I mean? They could
Papailador,
have it.
papailador.
Yeah, las quinceañeras que quieren aprender a bailar. Just for everybody in general to learn how to dance and have a good time. That's what we concentrate on. So I guess my first tip is you were saying like what was it that I wanted to concentrate more on saying is I guess always remain a student. Um,
Nice. Beautiful.
in life, yeah, in life you're I guess in life you try to learn from the elders, but that's just an idea. It doesn't really mean learn from elders. It just mean from other people that have had an experience different than yours and see what you could get from that experience and apply it either in your life or in your work or you could use those experiences from life from listening to other people to enhance your teaching methods. Um, and that could be something as easy as talking to other instructors. You could talk to other instructors and exchange ideas. There's things that Ralph teaches at our school in a different way that I had never heard about it that way, and I could grab it and implement it to the way that I teach it just by me listening to him saying it or doing it, or we talk about it and he sees me doing this and he's like, "Why don't you try this?" And then we could try that. Betico has also done things like that where we have these conversations, like we go dip in a rabbit hole about teaching,
Right,
and
right, right.
something comes up that we could use, and it enhances your teaching method. So always remain a student. Don't think that I've learned it all. There's no such thing. You're
Absolutely.
always going to learn. Um, and then you also learn from your students. You have to know if what you're doing, what you're using, what you're saying, if it resonates, if it works. If it's actually, if people are learning from you. You could be teaching for 5 years, but if you go out to a club and not one of your students is dancing, like uh, time to reassess.
You're right.
You always have to make an assessment about what you're doing and your teaching methods.
And that takes a lot of humility, man. So a lot of respect for that, and I couldn't agree more. We call it to check your results. Like,
Correct.
okay, well, do you have the humility to say, okay, what I'm doing is not working, or it could be better? And granted, the answer to that is always yes. It can always be better. Perhaps the margins are not as large from when you were initially starting, but that doesn't matter. It's like there's always that half a percentile or a 1 percentile there's always room for improvement. Absolutely, couldn't agree more.
Yeah. I don't want to get philosophical here or anything like that, but to quote Bruce Lee, he had a phrase, and I'm probably paraphrasing, something that keep what is useful, discard what is not, and add what is essentially yours. And that goes through the process of assessment of what you're doing. you know if the things, you have to see what resonates, keep it, or what somebody else is doing, add it to your arsenal.
Right?
What is not working, get
Dump
rid
it.
of it, and then add your touches to that of what you heard from someone else and do it. Actually, let's go back to Elba. That's a good example. Something she said once, was teaching the beginner students. She was telling them, grab everything that you know and put it in your pocket, and you're gonna bring it out later. But she left it at that, and I think about that, and I took it a little further. Um, and I said, grab everything that you know, because growing up, especially in a Hispanic, in a Hispanic family, we all have family members. We have, mom, dad, grandma, that they're always dancing. We see them dancing, and we do something that is mimicking what they were doing.
Right.
And everybody always knows how to move, whether it is the shimmy or something crazy, they lift the leg, they do something with the hand.
All right.
So I tell them, grab those things and put them in your pocket. Learn the system. Once you get to a level in the system that you feel comfortable replicating, then you go back to the things that you had in the pocket. You start bringing those out, and now you're going to look at those things with a different lens,
Right.
because now you know a little bit more about the basics of dancing.
Absolutely.
Then you start looking at those things and you start assessing again, and you're like, well, I like this is cool. I don't like that. What was I doing here? Like, this is crazy. You start keeping things or getting rid of things, and that's how you come up with your own style, which to me it's big that I don't want to create what I call cookie cutter dancers, everybody that dances the same.
Right.
I want everyone to enjoy and express the music in a certain way, whatever is making them feel. Yes, everybody knows the basic steps, everybody knows the turns, but if you go, for example, at CDP, Ralph and I, Betico, we know the same turns, and David and Richie and Hector, we know the same turns. We do a rueda, we could all do the same turns. But if you see us dancing separately, we all dance completely different.
Right.
Because each one of us is expressing a different feeling towards the music.
So what would you call
And
that?
I think,
Si podemos ponerlo en un punto, like self-discovery or self-expression.
I think I'm going to get to that later. That's another point.
Okay.
That's what I want to say. But in the end, it's like I want, dance is an expression. Art is an expression of feelings. You know what I mean? So through dance, even though you learn the foundation, you learn the basics and all of that, I want everybody to express themselves through dancing. Now, if they do something crazy, we may say, maybe you shouldn't do that. But it's still up to them to do it if they still want to do it. That's what brings happiness to their heart. Who are us to tell them don't do it?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? As long as they're having a good time, which is the ultimate goal, to have a good time. So I guess, that's number one. Always remain a student and, listen to others and bring on to what you can learn from others and your students. Bring it on to enhance your teaching method.
I love that one, brother, from your students, bro. I mean, I think I've learned more from my students than I think that I've taught, just because granted, at the same time, being aware, paying attention to how they're responding to the information that I'm delivering. If there's any type of what I like to call static, can we eliminate that? Is there a smoother #smooth, our little inside joke that we say, is there a smoother way to get this message delivered? Absolutely. Christine says, by the way, a lot of respect for that on your previous point there. Thanks, Christine, for tuning in. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Perfect, brother. So that was a big number one. That's huge. Okay, so now I'm curious for the others now, because that was a heavy one. That's what's up. Okay.
I guess number two would be find your niche. What is it that you could be good at? So just like in life, we all have to find an interest and then go learn about it and become a master at it so we can make a living out of it. And dancing is the same thing. Not everyone, if you're a dancer and that's your profession, that's a different story. You have to learn dancing no matter what, because that's what you intend to be a professional at.
Right.
But there's people that, like me, dancing is not my livelihood. It's just my hobby and it's part of my life. So you can relate things from real life and find what it is that you could offer that no one else does, or that people do it but in a different way. So find your niche. Like, for example, for me is, they say cada maestro tiene su librito, right? So basically you have to write your own book for teaching, and that book has to be good enough that people want to open it.
That's a big one. Absolutely.
So for me, it's like, I've been told that my attention to detail. I don't know that it is that. I think it's for me is more that how I relate what I call the 10 key moves, which are the basic, which I'll tell you what I call the 10 key moves, or we call them the 10 commandments.
Okay.
Which are the basic moves that we have, the foundation, how I relate that to doing them in complicated figures or patterns, or doing turns together, putting them together, you explaining to them in a way that they realize, wow, I'm just doing the steps that I was doing as a beginner,
Right.
but I'm putting them together, I'm placing the hand in different places, but it's exactly the same thing. All that changes is the placement of the hands and the lead that I'm doing. So I think that for me is explaining to them using those basic moves, which by the way, for me, those basic moves are like Tiempo España, Son Montuno, Abajo, Exhíbela, Dile que no, Adiós,
Right.
Enchunfa, Vacila, and then La Vuelta del Hombre y la Coca-Cola. For
Right.
me, those 10 steps, what I call the 10 key moves, is what makes everything. When you do 70, you do Vacila and you do an Enchunfa.
Right.
You know, those moves are, you use them in every single figure that is doing casino, rueda de casino.
Right.
So for me is using those moves as I'm explaining a difficult thing, and I'm like, well, I just did Basila, but look at what the hands are. Or I just did, un enchunfa to get out of here, and I placed the hand in a different place. And I think that's what, that I see a light bulb come on.
Right.
I'm like, oh, shoot. Okay, that's what you meant. Oh, I see. That's what I learned. Why couldn't I do this before? And then, you know what I mean? Like that, to me, that's what I do in my head. I'm thinking that's what I do good. Maybe people see something completely different, but to me, that's what I do good, and that's what I try to concentrate on and drive it. So
Right.
you have to find what is it that you could do good, that people are gonna want to open el librito, your book, your teaching book.
Right. Right. Right.
You know
Right.
what I mean?
And to have enough experiences to
Right.
escribir el librito para empezar. And I think a lot of people nowadays, just because there's so many things to get so good so quick, and they're like, oh, but I'm not ready. So, well, how do you think you're gonna get ready? You got to go do it. You got to go do it. You got to learn your own way. You got to learn your own book. I think that's a great way. That's a great way to describe it. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and then also nowadays, there's a lot of people that because they dance good for 2 years, they already want to be instructors.
Oh yeah, that's
I
otra
think
cosa.
dancing good, yeah, I think dancing good is a start, but it's not.
Right.
You need to start writing your librito. You need trial and error. You need to fail a couple times to realize that you need to bomb a couple times and be like, oh, this what I said here was not good at all.
Right.
This person didn't get it, or I'm not able to pass this person because it's not doing what I'm intended for them to do at all. And then you have to reassess.
Right.
So that takes time. That writing that librito takes some time. So
I love that, dude. I love that analogy. That's wonderful. You got to write your book, and then you got to make it enticing. It's got to be good enough, because maybe you finish the book and it's not good enough still. Writing the book, reassessing the book, then publishing the book, right? Letting everybody know, hey, I'm doing this now. Come try it out again, possibly after it wasn't so good the first time.
right.
Yeah, no, beautifully said. Wonderful. I love it. I love it. I love it. Siga ahí. Yo no te estoy parando.
So I guess another thing that you could do, we're staying in the topic of bringing from life experiences or from other aspects of your life into your teaching. I guess borrow tools for your toolbox. As teaching, as you write your book, you have a toolbox of things that you're going to use.
Mm-hmm.
But you could also borrow ideas from other things that you do in life. From your profession. If you're, for example, an engineer and you're good at technical writing, you could write things in a certain way that everybody reading it gets the same idea. You could bring those things into teaching. If you do art, maybe you could draw a diagram on the floor, which some people have done that. That's another conversation for another day. You could draw a diagram on the floor to represent, which is that particular one is very good to represent how you want them to move their feet. You know what I mean? Like you can bring traits from somewhere else in your life into your teaching and enhance your methods. For example, I train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And one of the things that my instructors do is that they dissect the moves in a way to make the technique adaptable and usable for everyone.
Okay.
So I like to go and get back and forth with my instructors on difficult turn and patterns to see how we can make them so that anybody could do it. So that at the end of the day, it could become what I call clean. What I call clean is for someone to be able to lead to do the move and someone to be able to follow to do the move.
Okay.
Borrowing from that toolbox of another area of my life that, something else that I do is paying attention to the moves and dissecting it down to like the finger placement. At what point do I turn? How do I continue the motion? How do I
Right.
move my hand? How high up my back does the wrist need to be
Right.
for the elbow not to hurt, but to be comfortable enough so that the girl doesn't have to be, how high do I need to put on my elbow so that the girl can go under and not,
Mm,
chase, make it comfortable for everyone to be able to do the move.
right.
Um, so that's one of the things that I like to do and I incorporate. So like I do, somebody else could do that. You could look at the other things that you do in life and get some tools from there and add it to your toolbox.
Would you say that that's because I do this a lot too, just basically creating metaphors, creating different ways that you can allow people to relate and connect to ultimately what you're trying to explain in a, I guess what you're saying, in a clean, everybody can understand kind of way.
Right. Everybody can do kind of way. Like if I put the hand like this, it doesn't work. So I can't do the turn. No, let's break it down so that we tell them exactly how to put the hand so they don't think that I'm doing it because my hands are long
Right.
or I'm taller. Obviously, there's going to be patterns that
Right.
you need to be tall, skinny, and long
Right.
hands to do. There's patterns that can be adjusted to for the majority of people to be able to do.
Right.
And those are the ones that I like dissecting and coming up with ideas so
Of
that
course.
everyone can, you know.
Right. Beautiful. Okay. Yeah. No, I love it. I love it. Absolutely. Taking from your life, using different, I guess, language ultimately to adapt to what you're trying to do, and
Borrow
pass
tools
the
for your
information in
tools.
another way.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which ties back to always learning. You know what I mean? It
I
all
mean,
ties together. It all ties together. Um, and I guess this next one goes into your when you were talking about emotions and whatnot. What is the message that you want to transmit? Um, I also say I think for me it's a big thing. Find emotional connection.
okay.
So in life, if you notice, I think everybody would agree that in life we do better at the things that we're connected to emotionally. We work
Wow.
more
Yes.
we work more in our relationships, in our love relationships, our family, and our friendships because we're emotionally connected. Even at work, when we have, a challenge, something that we need to get done, a deadline, and I'm emotionally connected to it because I want to overcome that challenge. I want to get it done. And then if you find a way to connect or show an emotional connection to what you're doing, you're gonna want to. They're gonna be inspired to want to spend time on it. To
Got
me,
it.
is an emotional connection with the music, with the song, with the melody. To me, the Cuban culture is like very extremely important, and I'm always gonna find ways to try to show it, to share it, to express it.
Amen, brother.
Um, and for me, it's like I wrote something in 2013. Um, I wrote it 3 days before we opened CDP,
Anyways.
and it has to do with that. Um, I'll say because I wrote it in Spanish, and it's something like cualquiera se cansa después de bailar 10 canciones.
Uh-huh.
Muy pocos lo hacen con tan solo una. No se trata de cuánto podemos bailar, sino del agotamiento emocional por el sentimiento expresado en una melodía.
Nice. Wow, man.
So,
Beautiful.
um, it's about that connection in that song that sometimes you find yourself dancing these songs that they get to you, and then you just at it, and when you're done, you're like, you feel like you just danced 20 minutes straight,
Oh yeah.
and it's just because you were feeling the song. And then in some of those songs, you just do vacila and enchunfa, but you're doing the best vacila and enchunfa of your life because you're doing it with feeling.
Absolutely.
You know, a lot of people think that, a good dancer is the one that does 1,000 turns, and it's not. The good dancer is the one that can do simple moves and is catching everyone's attention because they're connected with the song, they're connected with the melody, they're going with the flow, they're simply telling a story of what they feel at the moment.
Amen.
And
If I can interrupt, brother, I know we do have a lot of English only listeners. Could you try and translate that?
I think I have. I think I tried to translate it once. Let me see if I can find it. I think I have.
And even if it's offhand, that's doing as best as you can. That's fine. Even if it's just the gist.
Anyone can get tired after dancing 10 songs. A select few can do it after just one. It's not how much you can dance. It's about the exhaustion of your soul from the feeling in one melody.
There you go. Okay.
I can send it to you in writing so you can post it, I guess.
Nice. Beautiful.
But it's something that I thought about days prior to opening CDP, that it was lacking, which is one of the reasons I wanted to reopen CDP. Other than La Rueda, to me that was a period in time in Miami where I saw that the Rueda was just dying. The face of La Rueda was not there anymore in the clubs, and I wanted to bring that back. I feel strongly about La Rueda and teaching using the Rueda method. I have my reasons for it, but it was also the lack of people just dancing just to dance. You know what I mean? And it goes back to, you don't need to do 1,000 turns. You just need to do 5 good ones.
Right.
Where you sync with the music. You're showing what the music makes you feel. You also don't have to dance every song. Dance the songs that you like. Dance the ones that make you feel something. Because that's the moment that you're telling a story in the dance floor. That's the moment you're connecting with the person that you're dancing with. At the end of the day, yeah, you're going to have a good time. You're not going to show off for people. You're going to have a good time. But you want to make sure the person you're dancing with is also having a good time.
Absolutely.
And then there's going to be the times where a person takes you out of dance because they really like that song. You also have to realize that. You have to assess that and read that body language and be like,
that's a big one.
I gotta do my thing on this one because I want to enhance that time. I want to enhance the time that she has on the dance floor to express herself. I want to be a part of that and I want to enhance it.
Right.
To me, it may be a little, whatever, cliche or whatnot, but to me, finding an emotional connection with the song and showing it, make sure that your students see it, all the time. There's times that people see me on the dance floor and they're like, oh, he really likes this song. Right. And I'm not doing anything crazy, but I'm enjoying the song. You know Absolutely. What I mean? Like, there's something on it that piano comes on and I just, se me eriza la piel, and that's the feeling that I would like to show and share with others so that they can feel that as well. Absolutely. And I have a couple of our people from our group, students and whatnot, that they're already feeling that, and they send you a song and they're like, hey, I want to hear that tonight, or
nice.
They ask me that song, I really like it, and then that's what it's all about.
That's what I was just gonna say. That you took the words right out of my mouth, man. That's what it's all about, bro. When they start feeling it and they start asking to feel that feeling again, it's like, yes, dude, keep going. You're on the right track, dude. Like, head towards that full speed, man. Because it's life changing. I mean, again, well, we were talking about in the pre-show that's kind of like always been, with you. But bro, I didn't get that salsa high until I was 17. And a lot of these people, and even then, that's considered obviously not in the dancer realm, which is what you were just talking about before, about which I didn't bookmarked in my mind. Actually, I'm glad we're coming back to that. I really respect that you said that, because I'm in the same realm. I'm not. I did an episode. I think it's episode 9. Bailarines, bailadores, and strippers is what it's called. Essentially, that there's different types of dancers. Like there's like, and I can respetar los bailarines that they spent their whole life, doing this and studying this, and it's a whole nother, universe. So, anyways, I respect you for saying that. But yeah, so for me, late 17, which is young for a lot of the bailadores. Um, but yeah, dude, that's when I was like, oh my god, this is what it's supposed to be. This is how it's supposed to feel. This is what I think. Well, I know now, but this is what I think when I was saying then, what my teachers have been trying to get me to feel from the
Yeah.
get-go, which is, which is the objective from everything, which is that finding that emotional connection.
There's a point where the light bulb goes on, and you're like,
Oh,
oh, that's what it is.
the click.
And that's
Eba called it.
priceless.
Eba called it the click.
Like, yeah, that's priceless to witness. That's priceless.
It's literally
Yeah.
priceless. Beautiful.
So I mean, I know that I changed a little bit what you do on the podcast. From telling what life experiences, or how dance has changed your life. And like I was telling you on the pre-show, I feel bad. Like I don't want to sound like, oh, this guy is whatever. It's like I couldn't think of what life has how my life has changed because of dance, because I cannot think of a time frame where dance was not part of my life.
Qué rico, brother.
And it was difficult for me to be like, how did dance and music change my life? And then it hit me. It's like, well, I don't know a time in my life where I did not dance or listen to music or did something or played an instrument with my family or listened to my sister singing.
Right.
I don't have a time in my life where music and dance were not part of it. So I would
Amazing.
not be able to tell you how that changed my life. But it did bring to my life the most important thing that there is in my life right now. And that would always be in my life for that matter. I have to be extremely thankful to dance. Because of dance, I met my wife.
Right.
And the fruits of that relationship are the most precious human beings in my life, my two
Amen.
girls. You know what I mean? So I have to be thankful to dance because it may not have changed my life, or it did in a way, because once you have kids, life
Right.
changes.
For sure.
Dance brought the best human beings that make my family into my life, and I had to be thankful for that.
Amen, bro. That's amazing, brother. For sure, brother. Dude, I mean, are we concluding with that, or do we have those? Are those four? Because that was a mic drop right there. That was awesome.
Well, I'm glad you like it. I hope those points help, and that someone could listen to something here, get something out of it. And I'm also open. If there's any comments and things that I've
Yes.
said that may not be correctly,
For
let me
sure,
know.
guys.
Yeah.
For those of you that are watching, please, 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 now's the time to do it. We're definitely both open books here, as you guys can see. An amazing, amazing conversation. Thank you again, Alain. Where would you say is the future for you, Casino de Primera? Your daughters, are they dancing? Are they moving? Are they what's up with? I know you bring them by the school.
Yes, I'm in trouble. I'm in
Oh
trouble.
boy. Oh boy.
They both love it. They both love it. One of them loves the attention more than the other, but they both, in private, they go crazy with music. Actually, they both in public they go crazy with music. I'm gonna start bringing them more now in the summer to school. Throughout the year, it's difficult because they're little.
Of course.
School nights, the bedtime routine and all that.
Claro.
It's you don't want to get them crazy one day a week to then have to do 4 other days. So now in the summer that they don't have school, I'll be bringing them more to the studio.
They're
But
how old?
yeah, I mean, Andres, they're gonna be 5 in June and 3 in August. So 5 and 3 almost 5 and 3.
Nice. Beautiful, man.
They're the future, Andres. To be honest with you, with the pandemic, I didn't know if we were gonna come back. It was 2 years that
I hear that, man.
I didn't know.
I hear that.
Everybody. It was a large group. It's a big group. We were 12 instructors in total, instructors and front desk staff. Everybody, with 2 years off,
Right.
life goes on. They have kids. They're gonna get married, professional life, and we've always kept this as this is a hobby. This is not a job. We're doing this because everybody wants to come, and that's why we only do it Tuesday nights.
Right.
We want this the night to be the night for the instructors to also have a good time and relax. Yes, we have a very structured night where everybody knows exactly what they're doing, but at the same time, we have gotten good at it that we have fun with it.
Right.
And I don't want to ever make it. They all know that the night that they feel that they don't want to start coming anymore, they got to tell me because I don't want that. We want to have a good time. That's our fun time. That's our hobby.
Right.
So with the pandemic, I really didn't know if we were going to reopen. And Abetico asked me that question when we were meeting about talking. Are we going to reopen? What are we going to do? What's the plan? Because we're having the problems with the Elks, with the Sunset Elks.
Right.
And it hit me, like there's no way I can't close. Like we're responsible for I think now 8 kids, 4 marriages. A lot of people go there to have a good time, and the culture of CDP Martes de Primera has become part of their lives. So it's no longer my thing. It's no longer our instructor's thing.
Nice.
It's also a lot of people that depend on Tuesday nights. We're doing something that is good and fun, and I wouldn't want to stop that. But then I have my kids also that I would want to someday be dancing with them. I mean, I could close the school. I don't need the school to have them dancing, but having the school is a place where they can see and they can grow up and see that, oh, dad has a school on Tuesday nights. They know Martes de Salsa, Martes de Primera. And they want to come, and we bring them when there is parties, so they know there's a place that a lot of people go. My almost 5-year-old tells me, oh, you're gonna see all your friends tonight. You have a lot of friends, Dad. Wow. So that like I want them to grow up with that memory. So now I have some more incentive to keep going. You know what I mean? Like I'm not tired. I'm getting old, yes, or whatever, but old is, age is just a number. It's how you feel. And I feel like I really want to keep having a good time with it, as long as my family is involved and my family is good with it.
Right.
And that everybody involved is having a good time and that is doing something positive for everyone. So what does the future hold? I think there's the Primera for a while.
That's what's up.
If people want to have it, it's going to be there.
I love it. I love it, brother. Awesome, man. Well, I would like to humbly ask if I may please come by for a killer rueda on a Martes de Primera, bro, because...
Whenever you want, man. Whenever you want. You're welcome. You've been there before a long time ago. Look at the shirt you're wearing.
Yeah, bro, when this shirt used to fit, I came by. No, for sure, man. No, it's definitely a blast. I love the vibe there. But definitely, man, I mean, we got some... We have some plans to reopen. I guess you could say for our system, a singular rueda class, basically just for the advanced, those that can dance casino de pareja in a proficient manner. We'll probably be opening up a rueda class sometime in the near future. But with that said, I, Andres Fernandez, do very few ruedas nowadays, which obviously I enjoy. And when I do them, I'm most of the time calling it. And as you know, sometimes you just don't want to call a rueda. You just want to be in a rueda. So
because you want to enjoy that song. You want to enjoy the feeling. You want to show something with that particular song. That you don't want to have a rueda in your mind. You just want to go with the flow. Exactly. You also want to enjoy somebody else calling it and see everybody's faces and having a good time with it. You don't want to be responsible for what's happening. You want somebody else to tell the story. That's another story too. Calling la rueda, it's a storytelling thing.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. And having that go with the flow of the song versus just kind of spitting out randomness. It's like, hey, where we at here? But no, for sure, man. I'm gonna take you up on that, my brother.
You're welcome.
Possibly even tomorrow, actually, because I just realized that I think my Tuesday nights are gonna get busy starting the following week. I'm actually gonna be going back to Bible studies, but that's a whole nother thing. So then tomorrow may be it, brother. That would be awesome if you'll be there.
Come by. I'll be there for sure. You're more than welcome, man. Come by.
Sweet. Awesome, my bro. Perfect. I gotta get me another shirt because I know you guys got gangster stuff. I need to get me another shirt. Esto es demasiado, yeah. Christine says, "Thank you for sharing your passion." Thank you, Christine, for tuning in. Appreciate you. Awesome, brother. Well, just like that, man. It's been 71 minutes plus whatever the pre-show has been. So. Yeah. So I appreciate you so much, brother. Thank you so much for sharing those. That was awesome. You could tell that you took some time to prepare a little something, man. So thank you for that. And I know that all of our listeners definitely do appreciate it. Guys, check out Casino de Primera if you're down in Miami for some Rueda fun los martes, los Tuesdays at the Sunset Elks. Is it casinodeprimera.com?
South Miami Elks, yes, casinodeprimera.com, and then all social media at Casino de Primera.
Casino de Primera, perfect. That's CASINODPRIMERA. That's all connected there. Brother, thank you so much again, man. I hope you had some fun doing this too.
I did. Yeah, it was interesting.
Good.
It was interesting. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course, man. Of course. And I'm going to connect with Ramani legit about hopefully coming on the show also and about that annual party. I think that would be really, really, really cool. Really cool. I think Miami needs that. There's definitely a lot of bachata and a lot of New York style mambo going around here, So we gotta
come back, huh?
Yeah. We got to get the casino there at least on par for sure.
Right.
So that would be great, man. Awesome, brother. Thank you guys so much for continuing to tune in. Alain, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Let me say one more little phrase,
please,
which connects what we're trying to do, how dance changes your life. I think that, and I'll say this one in Spanish, and I'm sorry that I don't have it in English, but you can translate it if you want. El camino de la vida se necesita música y baile para alegrar la travesía.
What's the last part?
Para alegrar la travesía.
I don't know what alegrar means.
Alegrar means to make it joyful, to make the journey.
Say it one more time, slow.
En el camino de la vida.
Okay, in life's path.
Se necesita música y baile.
You need music and dance.
Para alegrar la travesía.
To surpass the troubles.
No, to make
it fun.
To make the journey, to enjoy the journey.
To enjoy the journey. Beautiful. Perfect. Yeah. I love it, man. Amazing. And that's you writing it?
Yeah, I mean, from time to time, things pop into my head and I write them down.
I feel you. I'm the same way. And it's a lot of things like that I get podcast ideas from. I see it. Y a lo mejor then there's like maybe 2 or 3 things that I've written in the past that kind of connect with the same thing, and I'm able to build out. But absolutely, yes, little stuff like that, bro. It's beautiful, man. And again, for a lot of the new people coming in, which is the majority of our listeners, that type of mindset going into how they approach their social dance classes and stuff like that is, yes, it's 100% a hobby, but there's so much more that can be received ultimately at the end of the day,
Right.
For sure, brother. Thank you so much for sharing that, man. That's beautiful too. Thank you, man. Guys, I love you guys so much. Have a wonderful evening and or day, depending on the time that you're listening. But if you're watching now online live, we appreciate you guys so much. news.salsakingslive.com to continue receiving live updates on future episodes. Thank you, Alain. Again, episode 102, Teacher Tips, signing out. De primera.